Good evening, everyone. It's nice to see you all come out and brave the cold. Come to sit nice and still so you don't have to move around. It's good. I'd like to welcome you all to the Buddhaloka Centre here in Melbourne. It's good to see so many people coming out in person, and also welcome to anybody online. Anybody that maybe doesn't know who I am. My name is Ajahn Sādaro. I'm residing here at the Buddhaloka Centre at the moment. I've been a monk for a fair few years now, so hopefully I'm somewhat qualified to actually give you some kind of meditation instructions. Just before we start, is there anyone that has never meditated before? No? Okay, good. Hopefully there's nobody at home that has never meditated. No, not really. That's okay. For maybe just for anybody that's at home, if you do find that potentially you try to meditate and you might only be able to sit for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so, the meditation we'll be doing is a little bit longer. So it's fine. Don't worry about it too much. Just try to sit for as long as possible. And I'll try to help guide you through it. But if you're at home and you need a break, you only do shorter meditations, and that's fine as well. But then you can come back and ask some questions later. And for anybody online, if you do have any questions, you can more than welcome to type them into the chat. And yeah, for anybody here that has any questions after the meditation, you're more than welcome to ask any questions. So with that, we might get started. So just take a comfortable position. Whether it's seated, cross-legged on the floor or in a chair. The actual position doesn't matter that much. All that does really matter is that you keep your back nice and straight. Straight but not rigid. Try to relax your shoulders and relax your neck. Relax different areas around your face and your neck and your jaw. Just sit comfortably but alert. You can start off by making the determination that for the next few minutes you're going to put everything down and not worry about the cares of the world for the moment. And all that you're concerned about right now is the concerns of the mind. Any plans or thoughts about the future, you can just put them down for now. Anything that you needed to decide on, just put it aside. Anything that's been worrying you or concerning you, again, just put it aside for this period of meditation. Make the determination to use this time well and to the best of your ability. And we can just start by noticing the feeling of our body sitting here. Does it feel relaxed? Or do you feel tense? Just notice the different sensations throughout the body. You can scan your awareness through and notice any areas of tightness or pressure. And if you feel those areas of tightness, say in your jaw or in your forehead, in your brow, maybe your neck or your shoulders, just try to relax them now. Try to sit and be at ease. And scan your awareness through the whole sphere of the body, noticing the different sensations come and go. Feeling of the temperature on your skin, maybe cool air, maybe patches where there's more warmth under the clothes. Just scan your awareness up and down the body for a while and notice these sensations, how they change and move. And you can also keep your awareness very wide and open and notice any sounds in the room. The sound of my voice, sound of any air conditioner, sounds of other people, things outside. Again, just try to see that these are merely just sounds. They come and they go. So for the next few minutes, just keep your awareness very open and notice all the sensations in the body and the sounds as they all come and go. receptive and open and aware of the sensations throughout your body and the sounds that are coming into contact with your ears. Start to also be aware of the sensations of the breath coming in and going out. Try to observe all these things simultaneously, the breath, the sensations and the sounds. Try to be very open and just see that these aspects of your experience, they arise in the same spout. They arise right here within your experience. Your breath comes and goes in a flow. Sounds pass by. The buzzing and tingling sensations throughout your body keep changing. Just try to remain open and simultaneously observe the breath, sensations and sounds. remain aware of the sensations and the sounds and the feeling of your breath coming in and going out. Try to keep your attention anchored to the breath, and you can use that as your central anchor point. But remain open to these other aspects of your experience. You can also incorporate awareness of your visual field, even though your eyes may be closed. Even though your eyes are closed, there is still light coming through your eyelids. Try to notice that full spectrum where vision usually arises. And you might start to feel like your attention is up in your head as you place it at your eyes, and as you hear the sounds. And as you feel the breath come in and go through your chest and abdomen, you might start to feel like that's down in your body, that it's down below, and sensations that are in your body are down below. But just try to notice that all these phenomena, it's arising actually in the same place. It's arising right here in your field of experience. In that awake expanse of that which it is that you know. Again, if you feel like your attention drifts up and down to your visual field and then down to sensations and flickers to sounds, just try to also keep centered and anchored on the breath. But then also be open and notice these different aspects of your experience and how they arise in the same place. also naturally notice any thoughts that arise. They might feel like they arise somewhere in the middle of your head. Bits of language that flitter through. Images that seem to pop out of nowhere. And if we notice these things, they have no real substance. They're just bits of language, images. No real core. When they disappear, it's like they're gone forever. These thoughts, again, arise right here in your experience, in the same place as sensation and sounds. They might feel like they're temporarily located in a different place, but it's all this one sphere of your experience. Try to step back and detach from it. And notice it just pass through. last few minutes of the meditation, just change the focus of your awareness and your state now, and try to recollect someone who you've known in the past, who you helped or who you were kind to. Might be a close family member or a friend or even a stranger. Try to think of this person and a time that you went out of your way to do something good for them, to do something of benefit for them. Just remember doing that thing and the feeling that you got from it. Try to sink into this feeling of kindness, concern and care for another person. Try to expand this goodness. Make it fill the entirety of your heart. And this feeling of kindness and concern and compassion and goodness. Try to spread that and radiate it to somebody sitting beside you. And wish this person well. You wish that this person be happy. You wish that this person can be peaceful and calm. And insightful. Try to feel this feeling of kindness towards another being that you previously felt towards somebody that you helped, towards the person sitting next to you. And then expand this out to a few of the people sitting around you. Expand this feeling of kindness and goodwill to others. These people around you, they have the same aspiration that you do. They want to find some contentment and joy and peace in their life. So try to take joy in their good aspiration and radiate kindness towards them. And now try to expand it out to everybody sitting here in the room. This feeling of radiating kindness and goodwill. Make it feel like it wells up within your heart and then expands out to everybody in the room. And realize that in some way, you being here at this place, at this time, with these people, that you're all connected in some way. You may not know how, but at least at this very instant, you share this same aspiration. You share this same aim. So radiate kindness towards everybody in the room. Now try to expand this out to anybody that you feel connected to, whether they're in this room or at home or somewhere else in the city or in the state or the country or even overseas. Try to bring to mind these people that you're connected to, these people that you care for, that you wish to be well, and radiate this feeling of kindness towards them. Wish them joy and peace. Wish them goodwill. Wish them success and freedom. You all had a nice, calm, peaceful meditation. Just, if anyone has questions, you're more than welcome to ask a question now. You can either go to the microphone or just yell it out to me and I'll repeat it for the people online. You're all still in silence and peace. Is there any questions on the internet, Langdon? No? Sitting in silence? Speak now or wander out into the cold? We don't want to hear me ramble after you've had a nice peaceful meditation sit. Staring into the void, staring into an abyss of no language coming up, physical speech, no text coming up, no.
Someone's just commented, yes, I'm still in the state of peace and joy.
Okay, good. Well, so I guess we can, if we have no questions, one thing we can maybe think about. I was during the guided meditation there, I was talking about spreading loving kindness to those that are around you, and thinking about those people that you're connected with and spreading loving kindness to them. And so there's those people that we know that we're connected to, our family, our friends, those that have influenced us in some way. But you can also think, those that we work with, all these kinds of things. But you can also think that there's all these people around you as well, or people that have been in your life some way that you don't really actually know how they may have affected you in some way, how they may have contributed to the fortune that you have in your life right now, or some kind of suffering that you have in your life. There's probably plenty of nameless people throughout history that have contributed to your suffering in some way as well. But it's nice to think of the people that may have helped us indirectly that we don't really know about, or we're not very aware of. So for example, you all come here tonight. You come here to the BSV, the Buddhaloka Centre. The BSV's been around for many years, 70 years or something like that. And so all the people that have got together over the course of those years and have helped out and have contributed, in some small way have contributed to you actually being here, and you actually being able to come and practice meditation and listen to the teachings. And even further back than that, there's just in the sphere of Buddhism, there's been people that have come to Australia as either a monastic or as a lay practitioner, or cultural groups of people that have come that were Buddhist and brought many of these practices and introduced it to people in the society. And these people in some way have indirectly contributed to our lives in some way. And then you can just continue to go back throughout history, and all these people that have influenced Buddhism and meditation over the course of the years, and all the way back to the Buddha. All these individuals that have really actually contributed to the good fortune that you have, that you now have this ability and this opportunity to practice meditation and to, develop some calm and some insight and some wisdom in your mind. So it's also a very nice thing to do when we're spreading loving kindness, is to not just think of the beings that are here now, but then also those people that have influenced us in some way, and influence us indirectly, and influence us in the past in some way. And so the reason I'm saying this is because actually there's somebody who just passed away that has probably influenced you a lot, and you didn't know about it. His name was, he used to be a Buddhist monk. His name was Kantipalo, and he was very, very instrumental in bringing this style of Buddhism to Australia. He was one of the first, I think he was the first Western monk to come to Australia. Had a very long career in the Thai forest tradition, helped establish many monasteries in the West. I think he came here and taught many, many times as well, wrote many books, really did a lot to actually spread Buddhism to the West, and did a lot of translating and things like this as well. And so he disrobed maybe, I can't remember how many years ago, it's maybe 15, 20 years ago, but he was still very, very instrumental in the Buddhist community after he disrobed. And, anybody in sort of Buddhist circles knew Lawrence, they knew Kantipalo, and knew sort of the great amount of goodness that he actually did. So it's maybe good for us tonight if we think with gratitude towards Lawrence, towards Kantipalo, now that he's passed away, and we can any kind of goodness or merit that we make tonight, we can also share that with him. So maybe there's a question on there.
Thank you, Ajahn. A couple of late questions came in.
Right.
The first question is, after sitting for a while, the back of my neck gets a bit tense and sore. Is this normal?
I was literally just asking that. I was stretching my neck out. So yes, it's totally normal. Yeah. Depends a lot on your posture throughout the day. If maybe you sit and you look at a computer screen a lot, your head might sort of droop. But just generally, you're sitting and you're becoming a little bit more relaxed and things like that. It's just natural that your head's going to start to drop down. But you obviously just don't want to let it drop down. Having it drop down a little bit's okay, but dropping down to the point where you're like your chin on your chest and falling asleep, that's obviously not a good thing. I've had plenty of meditation sessions where that's happened, and it can drop forward, and you sort of, after a while, you don't know how long, you sort of wake up and do that. Or there's you can go to the side as well, and that's worse. It's sort of that once you go to the side, your body goes off balance, and that's when you sort of tip over in meditation. So it's totally normal, but you just have to try to be aware of it a little bit and try to, if you do notice that it's drooping, just lift it up, because it can make you a little bit drowsy.
Thank you, Ajahn. And the last question is, Namaste, what is the difference between dreams and thoughts? And I also am interested in this a bit. I think sometimes I feel when I've meditated when I'm tired, I might be relatively still, but then I think I actually go into a dream state. I don't start thinking, but I'm actually dreaming, and then I'm straight back into the meditation, and I'm not quite sure sometimes what's happened, but dreams and thoughts.
Yeah, this is actually like a really cool topic. if you sort of like get right into it, kind of thing. Like, what's the difference between your waking life and your dreaming life, kind of thing? You know, is the awake existence that we're in now like a dream, and what's the difference between those two spheres? It's like really cool philosophically to play with these kind of ideas and stuff. But you know, generally in the terms of meditation, what they are is another. They're just your waking thoughts and states, and your dreams are just another modulation of the contents of consciousness. When you dream something, what you're doing is you're perceiving some kind of visual scene or some kind of emotionally salient information, and it becomes perceptually very real within the confines of your own experience. And likewise, when you're in a waking state and you're just walking around thinking and making decisions and seeing objects and hearing sounds and all these kinds of things, this is it's very, very similar in many ways. So the difference, you could say maybe like phenomenologically, the qualitative difference between a dream state of perception and a waking state of perception, they can have a lot of overlap, and they can be very, very similar. But obviously, dreams can be more fantastical, whereby there's these altered states of perceptions. You start to talk to an elephant or something, and it seems totally normal, and or you sort of like jump over some buildings or something like that. It's like that's just a totally normal thing to do. Or you can dive under the sea, and you can swim underwater and don't have to breathe, and it's just totally normal. So qualitatively, there's no real difference in your experience, but there is a sense whereby the individual is more alert and awake when one is more when one is more like in waking state, whereby how would you say? It's more sort of like luminous. It's more, you are more alert and aware to the different kinds of things. Maybe the experience that you're describing, where you sort of drop off and drift into just these kind of like vapid, vaporous kind of thoughts. That is your mindfulness getting weaker at that time, and you sort of just drop into that more like slow wave brain pattern, and you sort of drop a little bit into more resting kind of sleep pattern, but then you might jolt back, and you might become more alert and more aware, kind of thing. So they can feel different. They can feel different. Your waking state and your dream state, they can have a different feeling state. Just like any experience that you have in your waking life feels different at every moment. So yeah, hopefully that answered the question. I sort of rambled and getting tired. So. Yeah, Paul. Yep.
I know while you're meditating, you get these flashes of people that come and go like
Yep.
you're saying.
Yep.
Is that true? Because one of the monks said that could be your past life flashing back and going. Would that be possible?
Like there's a possibility that that's what it is. It could be. It's really hard to say. Like you obviously you don't really remember your past life, so you can't exactly say for sure. One thing that is pretty obvious is one of the things we're most attracted to is people's faces. We remember people's faces actually very, very well. So there's this whole like massive population of faces that are in the storehouses of your memory that you're not really actively remembering. But then this sort of like combination of faces can just arise in when you're meditating, because we're sort of hardwired to see faces in many things. So it could be one or the other. You can't really tell. Again, though, if you're doing some kind of practice where you're, say for example, trying to stay with your breath, or you're trying to practice loving kindness, or you're trying to be mindful and aware and just let things come and go, it's what you probably try to do at that stage is just realize that some sort of image has arisen in the mind, flashes there, drops away. That's all there really is to it. What you can do, if it's something that's maybe playing on your mind a bit, it's like, oh, maybe this is, it could be some like karmic debtor from the past coming to get sort of retribution and annoy me and poke at me or whatever. You can at the end of the meditation, like we did tonight, you can spread loving kindness to any of those beings, any beings that I've got some karmic connection with, that may have come from the past. May you share in the merit, and then hopefully they'll leave you alone. So yeah.
Sorry, Ajahn, I know I said that one was the last question, but
That's
there's
fine.
one I'd just like to finish with because of the question. Because of trauma, I have tightness all through my body. I have meditated for years, and it has never been painless and enjoyable. Am I hopeless?
No. It's in some aspect, there is suffering in every aspect of our life. It's something that none of us can actually ever get away from. It's something that is ever present within each of us at all times. And but we all just have varying degrees of suffering. Some are obviously a lot worse than others, and it sounds like the person online that asked the question sounds like it's more prevalent and more salient and more extreme for them. But it doesn't mean that you're hopeless. Is because everybody that does have some kind of suffering, the Buddha said, there is a way out of that suffering. There is a way to overcome it, but we do need to have patience. We need to have patience to continue practicing, even though even though things can be hard, even though things can be traumatic, even though things can be a lot of suffering. We all have some kind of cross to bear, to use a mixed analogy, but we all have some kind of suffering in our lives, and just some more and some less. But that doesn't mean any of us are actually hopeless. If we were hopeless, then the Buddha wouldn't taught that there is suffering there, and that there is a way out of suffering. So it's something. If you're practicing in this way, and potentially there is still different aspects of trauma or pain or something like that coming up, but you've been doing the same kind of meditation for many years, you can maybe try some different kinds of meditation as well. Maybe I'm guessing here, like maybe the person's doing something like breath meditation and still a lot coming up kind of thing. You can try different techniques, different methods of meditation, try to find what works, try to find what in some way sort of alleviates that suffering in some way. But it's you're definitely not hopeless. You definitely just keep practicing, and what's I guess the other thing is as well is like, what's the alternative? Just to not do it and continue to suffer. You can do that, but it's not going to get better. It's not going to get better at all if you don't actively try to actually do something about it. Then it's just, it's not like that thing is going to go away. It's going to remain with you, and it's potentially going to get worse, and it's going to grow more and more. So you can give into it, but it'll just become worse. So it's much better to continue to try to work with it, and continue to practice, and continue to try to go beyond suffering, and just to know that that there is a place beyond suffering within your own mind, if you can practice well enough and actually see that thing. So yeah, not hopeless. So. And with that might be enough for tonight. Thank you all for coming. So we'll just end by paying respects to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, bowing 3 times if you like. Buddho Bhagava Buddhaṃ Bhagavantaṃ Abhivademi Sawakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammaṃ Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Saṅgho Saṅghāṃ Namami